What's up, Golden Frying Pan people? Welcome back to the kitchen. I hope you guys are having a good week. Today I want to talk about lust again because I realized that I didn't do all that good of a job of it whenever I did it on Friday. I did that on Friday, right? I did it a few days ago, and I played Minecraft, and it just wasn't really all. I could have done better, and some of my friends made it clear how much better I could have done. So I'm here because this series isn't about, me just uh, pumping these things out and not caring about them. This is a topic that I am very interested in, especially lust. I thought that lust was very, very interesting because, as I stated in the video, most people, whenever they discuss it, they talk about it being sex. Like its literal definition is an intense sexual desire. That's the first definition that comes up whenever you look it up, at least. And so I feel like that's underutilizing the word, though, because if we're going to treat greed and gluttony with more nuance and more complexity, let's do the same with lust, because these all three are kind of saying a similar thing of like, oh, you want something specifically too much, whether that's money, food, or sex. That's the traditional form of speak whenever you're talking about these three sins, right? It's lust, is sex, greed is money, and the other one is food or whatever, right? And I just feel like we could do a better job of discussing it than just, uh, you know, I feel like it helps no one to be so reductive. And so while it is definitely something of like, oh, I don't know. The more nuanced way to look at lust is wanting to want something. And while that's not necessarily a problem, I can't emphasize that enough. It's not really a bad thing because any good story you have of like heroes and people doing the right thing, more often than not, they're doing it for a love of what they're doing. They're not doing it to get something out of it, unless if you have like anti-heroes or whatever. But like the best of us, like Superman, for example, Superman doesn't do it for money or fame or anything. Heroes don't do it for money, they do it for love of the game. However, they specifically do something good for the love of the game. And that's what I was trying to talk about a couple days ago, where you have other characters like the Joker, who are doing something and they're doing it for the love of the game, but it's inherently destructive. Another example, after some considerable thought, is Wheatley, specifically Wheatley in this form. Right now, he has the power of. He's basically just on a power trip, right? And every time that we complete one of these puzzles, he gets a little jolt, and he says it's like an itch, right? And it feels really, really good. And to be entirely honest with you, it is kind of weird because it does feel like there's a little bit of a sexual connotation to it, and that's always just phenomenal whenever you hear robots. Anyway, I'm not going to continue this conversation. But no, I thought about it, and so this is probably going to work better than Minecraft did last week. However, I still do think that creative Minecraft made sense because, much like these people that are compelled just by a desire to do something, the fall off of that is quite naturally. The fall off of it is pretty logically that they need to, or at least they want to. Oh, what? Am I stupid? They want to get what they want. Like they know what they want. That's the only answer to it. They know exactly what is, and for Wheatley, he knows what he wants. Right? What he wants is this is us to complete stuff. Right? That's all he wants. That's all he ever wants, at least in this current phase. But as time goes on, it starts to feel less and less and less and less and less. And that is the problem because that's going to happen to everybody, whether they want it to happen to them or not. It's still going to happen to them. You can come up with an idea of like, oh, this is definitely what's going to make me feel better. This is definitely what's going to do it, right? Oh no. Dang it. This is definitely what's going to make me feel better. This is definitely what's going to fix everything, if you will. And that's lust of like This will make me feel good. I know this will make me feel. Did the guy? What? Where did he go? Are you serious? Get over here. Yeah, of like, okay. Having sex more often than not will probably make you feel good. I'm pretty sure that's the evolutionary design for it, by at least by most. Oh, that's what I did. Okay, yeah, that I am stupid. That's the design of it. You know, everything like that. And so more often than not, I feel like that is the reason why people are. Wait, what am I doing? What am I doing? I feel like that, more often than not, is going to be the reason. Oh, I'll just do this. Do I know what I'm doing? No. No, not even a little bit, no. What the... What? What? What am I doing? Okay. Let me recenter. Lust is doing what you want because it feels good, right? Kind of the exact opposite of discipline, doing what you think is good despite not really feeling good about it or not wanting to, right? And naturally, it works really well with gluttony. It works very, very well with gluttony, quite naturally, honestly. And also, I will say, it works really, it helps with, oh, I'm dumb. Shut up. Don't say anything. Don't say a thing. Ignore that I ever did that. Ignore that I ever do anything, ever. Don't, yeah, you're fine. What am I doing? What am I doing? Oh my gosh, I'm really tired. I did not realize I was this tired. No, maybe I'm not tired. Maybe I'm just stupid. That's probably probably a better answer for it. Holy crap, I am absolutely botching this puzzle right now. Wow. Wowee, wowee. This is something else. And then I do this, and then I do that. Okay, there we go. Why was that so hard for me? Whatever. Regardless, I'd say lust works very well with gluttony because typically gluttony consumption is going to feel good, right? So they work hand in hand, much in the way that greed and gluttony, well, they all kind of work against each other and yet they work for each other. Gluttony doesn't work with greed because you're consuming what you eat. However, you can't consume what you don't have. And so you need to be greedy to be more effectively gluttonous. Or the more greedy you are, the more gluttonous you can be. Similarly, the more lustful you are, the more greedy you can be. Because the more that you want, the more that you're likely to get, right? And with that is also the fact that... What's that? Oh, okay. And with that is also the more that you eat, or consume, the better you're going to feel. So all three of them kind of work with each other. Despite being very destructive, they all work with each other. However, it's not a scenario, I don't think it's necessarily a scenario that in every single instance it's bad, because it's good to want things. It's good to consume things, and it's good to have things, right? However, obviously the problem is moderation. The problem isn't oh, but as soon as I do that... What? Whatever. He's probably telling me something and I have him muted so I can't hear what he's saying. Whatever. Oh, okay. It's been a second since I played this, okay? Give me a break. All of these videos are supposed to be talking about something that is more than just a thought of like, this is bad, this is evil, you know, these are sins, and so they have to be evil by default. And yeah, they're definitely not the best, let's be honest. They're definitely not perfect. And were you trying to kill yourself? Stop that. Stop that. However, it goes without saying. No, it doesn't go without saying. Nothing goes without saying. You should always say things. Words are made to be used. How do I need to stop doing this golden frying pan man thing and just focus on the game. That's what I need to do. Holy. No, what the heck? Yeah, I got this. I got this. I know what's going on. I know what's going on here. Because then he's gonna do that, and then I can not have any idea where I'm going. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Nope, no, I actually do got this. Boom. As I was saying, this is a game where specifically people do exactly what they want, what they're designed to do, and not anything more. They don't think of the ethics. They don't think if they should. They don't think of if it's going to be bad. They think, this is what I need to do, so this is what I'm going to do. And it creates two horrendously evil people. And it's because they're doing what they want because they want to do it. And, well, for GLaDOS, it's for the science. She says that it's for the science. But for Wheatley, obviously, that is not the case. He is an idiot who is just tripping on power, and that is all he is. And he's very funny because he's Wheatley, and everybody goes, ha ha ha, Wheatley, you know. But it is still definitely something of it's a problem, you know. GLaDOS, whenever she's not in the suit, is more fine, you know. So absolute power corrupts absolutely. Whoa, I know. Isn't that crazy, guys? Isn't that a little bit crazy? I came up with that, by the way. Oh, cool. I did win. Awesome sauce. No, that's mainly it. I do also really quickly want to say something else about well, this is quite a mistake. So the last video that I made, I was like, oh, we have these people like Kobe Bryant and the Joker, which I do think both of them are good examples of it. But for those who do not know, the reason I said, like, I don't know if he was a good person, I don't know if he wasn't, you know, and the reason why I said that is because, first of all, he's dead, and I know people are very, very particular with their basketball legends. And so I could be saying something that is not even true, and then get like absolutely killed for it. But no, I looked it up afterwards, and I mean, Kobe Bryant didn't get arrested for it. The charges were dropped, but it was probably basically entirely because oopsie doopsie, we accidentally told the people who the girl was that were making the claims, and then she got harassed and doxxed and everything like that. And so she was like, you know what? Not worth it. I'm not saying that's definitely what happened, but I'm a lot more likely to commit to the sentiment that, yeah, he was not a good person. He was very good at basketball, and whenever he was playing basketball, you know, you wouldn't want to be up against him because that's what he wanted to do. But at this point, or at least in my opinion, it would appear as though he held that regard for many different things. If he wanted to do something, he did it. And that is obviously very destructive. Very, very destructive. I can't overemphasize, you know, all of these deadly sins, while they are on paper not necessarily the worst, no single sin alone done minorly is going to be like, wow, you're a problem, you're a menace, you know. If you take a bit of money, you're not the worst person in the world, right? If you eat or you consume a bunch of stuff, right? If you want stuff, if you get a little bit upset, if you tend to be a little bit more lazy, a little bit more laid back, a little bit more reserved or chill, that is not inherently a problem. And I feel like that is I feel like that is a point well made with these beginning three. This conversation. Oh, whoops. This beginning conversation of these first three, because these first three are all I feel like they're the most applicable to every person. Even if you're not greedy, even if you're not gluttonous, even if you're not lustful, you're going to be at least one of the three of these. And the problem is, if you're one of the three of these, you're very inclined to be all three of them, even if you don't realize it. You're probably going to get a main one that you are, and then the other one, or the other two, just kind of follow suit. And so, yeah, it's a very appealing sin. You want things and you want to feel good. There's nothing wrong with wanting to feel good. However, the problem is that it can create discord, it can create chaos, it can create a sense of uncooperation and entitlement, right? No, not necessarily entitlement. Sorry. I guess that's kind of spoilers for a different sin. I don't feel like it creates entitlement. Personally, I don't feel like it creates entitlement. However, it's still a sin that I feel like is very, very interesting, and I feel like I did not do a proper way of discussing it last time I talked about it. So hopefully this was a better discussion on it. I think I'm going to be calling it here. I hope you guys have a good week. Hopefully that wasn't just rambly and awful and terrible. And I hope you guys had a good week. And yeah, make sure to voice your feedback. If you guys know of problems, if you guys are like, that one wasn't very good, or that you disagree with it, feel free to let me know, because I do want to improve. I want this to be a series where I'm getting better, and so I can't do that if I can't do that if I just don't make very good stuff. So you guys deserve it, and you guys don't need to be the one to tell me that I need to be better. I just need to be better. So I hope you guys had a good week, and I will see you guys next week. Bye bye.